Hey guys, I was just making another video about overhead squat and I almost went into a range of motion rant, and I decided that I would make another video about range of motion. This has to do with squatting, literally ass to grass. I don't know if you can see me right here. Butt back, my knees are still actually behind my toes. I don't know if that's what it looks like, but I'm literally all the way down. And actually, this is a resting position. Like, I could actually just sit out here all day long. And that's not crazy. Believe it or not, in other countries and tribes in the jungle, they actually sit like that like 4 times a day to go to the bathroom. It's not that fucking insane. It's not like mind-blowing, you know, oh my god, his knees are gonna explode, you're not gonna be able to do anything when you're 60 years old. Okay, here's where people get confused. Let's say that because of our everyday life here in America, that you've only ever squatted this low, okay, and then all of a sudden some D-bag trainer's like, oh, don't squat this low, use the same weight, and all of a sudden now you're squatting that low. That's stupid, then you're gonna get hurt. So I'm not saying that you should be squatting ass to grass, but you should be working yourself into it with a weight that's comfortable. I find the same thing with a bench press. A lot of guys, they use this 90-degree thing as a crutch, and they're like, well, if I go any further than that, it hurts my shoulders. And I don't want to hurt my shoulders. It's like, oh, well, then you max out a lot, and like if it's so close that if you went an inch lower that it would hurt and throw out your shoulder, it doesn't seem like it's a really good idea for you to put as much weight as you possibly can right there, because if you went an inch lower, it would blow out your shoulder. Like, well, if I go to my chest, it hurts. Well, then you need to stretch, and you need to use less weight, and you need to correct the imbalances until you can get the full range of motion, and then try to max out occasionally if you really want to. But if you're using range of motion excuses to shorten up the range of motion, then you shouldn't be maxing out all the time. Now, if you're doing a short range of motion because you're a bodybuilder and you're doing half reps or constant tension, that is completely different. I get it, and that's not what this video is for. This video is just for your standard athlete or everybody else who should be doing full range of motion exercises. This kind of ties into, last thing, the pull-ups, CrossFit style pull-ups, your kipping or butterfly pull-ups. Everybody says, well, that's going to ruin your shoulders. It's the same thing as that deep squat. It's the same thing as benching all the way to your chest. If you're 60 years old, 40 years old, 25 years old, and you've never done any pull-ups, and you've never used any sort of range of motion, and you haven't worked that full range of motion, you don't have a balanced body, and you just go right into it and you do 100, you might hurt yourself. If you've never done squat lower than, I'm not even going to say 90, like let's say you're a half squatter, and all of a sudden somebody's got you squatting to the grass, you might hurt yourself. It doesn't mean that it's a bad way to do it or it's a bad way to train. It just means you were not prepared. So the whole point of the video is you need to be doing full range of motion exercises. If you think you can't, what you need to do is fix the imbalances that are giving you the pain, lighten the weight, and then do full range of motion anyway. That's it, guys.